Okay, so that's that. Next thing I wanted to let you guys know. I wanted to let you guys see something. Da 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 da! Look, it's me. It's me. I got my best friend finally gave me the commission. I commissioned my best friend, and they finally gave me this, my little avatar. Background music kind of, yeah. Sorry. I lowered it. I lowered it a bit. But look, it's me. Let me make it a little bigger for you. Look, this is me with my frizzy hair and also with my fucked up laptop. This is supposed to be me early on when I started really streaming last year. So, you know, once I got back from work, my hair will be a mess. I turn on my laptop with my little cupman right next to me. Yeah, look, it's me. It's me, Sticks. Also, Hashi too. Welcome back. Welcome. I hope you had a good weekend. Ta-da! It's me. Oh, okay. I wanted to also show you. My best friend also did this. Hold on. Let me switch over. Ta-da! Look, this is also me. This is me getting ready for a stream. So yeah, basically this is based on me last year when I was still working. So when I worked, honestly, it felt like I was being a clown. Fatigue maxing. Yep, exactly. I felt like my job was me being a clown. So this is me getting back from work, taking off all the clown makeup, and getting ready for stream. Ta-da! Really giving the yeah, it's me, the old lady. It's just me being an old lady and wanted to play some games. Hey, all right. So I haven't put it in the description yet because I wanted it to be you know, kind of a surprise. Now I'll put it in the description. So basically, my best friend's kind of shy. They only let me gave me a link to their Reddit account. So yeah, if you wanna, you know, give them some love, wanna check out the rest of their work, then go to Reddit and search for Ye Old Switchy. That's Switchy. Yes, the nose. Honestly, in real life, I think my nose is kind of small. So I think, you know what, me wearing a clown nose, fair enough. That might just be my best friend trying to tell me that I should try to get my nose a little bigger or something. Hi, hello, Motivated Alpha. Welcome. Look, I got a new starting screen and I got a little avatar. See, I'm a PNG tuber now. Alright, so that's enough fun with that. Again, just wanted to remind you guys, because I only fed the kitten a little bit, I might have to get up, pause the stream to feed it again, maybe an hour-ish into the stream. But other than that, that should be good. This isn't fan art, this is commissioned. So it's not exactly fan art. It's done by my best friend. You can find them on Reddit because that's the only place they allowed me to link them to. Alright, that should be it for now. Let's go back to PTR. Hold on. Gotta make sure you guys will be able to hear the game. Ta-da! Okay, alright, here it is. We're gonna be playing EX04 this time, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be about Aria only. I hope we get to see Ayla at least, you know. I hope this is kind of like the start of Naruto Shippuden, where Sasuke and Naruto confront each other for a bit, even though Sasuke doesn't end up coming back. So I'm guessing this is where, hopefully, I hope it's where Ayla gets to see no, not Arya, sorry, Selena. Gets to see Selena for a bit, even if Selena won't come home just yet. So we'll do this today. And yeah, Songs of Eternal Earth. Let's go. Let's start. I got my water ready. I'll stay hydrated. And look! I think looks like Liv is getting a new frame. Finally! She was the only Grey Raven who hadn't gotten a new frame yet. And this is her with the short hair. I forgot what this frame is called though. But yay! 5:30 AM Universal Time. On a transport craft in low Earth orbit. Hold on, can you guys hear me properly? Can you hear the game properly? Yeah, you should be able to hear it. Okay, let's go. The engine emits a low and steady hum after scene time, after some time, the crew's ears become accustomed to the sound rather than finding it disruptive. The uniform rhythm is like white noise, lulling the crew with the desire to sleep. Alright, I think my avatar is a little too big. You guys won't be able to see the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, that should be a little better. Yeah, I want you guys to be able to see the dialogue too. Live Lux? Oh, is that what it's called? Okay, so we're getting Live Lux, apparently in EX04. I gotta be honest, I prefer Liv with the long hair. But, you know, Liv Lux looks cute. She looks... I think that's where you guys... Where the fandom gets the image of Liv as a lamb, right? She's got that plushie, and also, I think her Lux, frame makes her look fluffier, somehow. The seatbelts secure them to their seats, comforting them despite the weightlessness. Yet their need and longing for gravity are instinctive, carved in their genes. There is a sense of emptiness and loss in the vacuum of space. You know, I read somewhere that if you're in zero gravity, you know how your red blood cells are like concaved, but if you're in zero gravity, then your red blood cells look more round. That's kind of cool. I'm not really the kind of person who wants to be in zero gravity, but that's cool to know. This loss only amplifies the sense of drowsiness. In order to suppress the impulse to close your eyes and take a nap, you slowly shift your gaze to the porthole. You see the quiet universe dotted with stars. The transport craft should be traveling at inconceivable speed, but in the vastness of space, the stars, millions of light years away, fail to serve as a reference point for you moving forward, regardless of how fast the ship is. I will never forget the feeling of finding out what light years meant. If a star is like 5 light years away, that means it's gonna take light, you know, something, the image of the star, something that's moving at the speed of light, 5 years to reach us. So if something is like 500 million light years away, that means it's taking that image 500 million years to reach us, which most likely means that that star is probably already dead. That kind of blew my mind the first time I found out about it. Lux is supposed to be long-haired. Okay. I'm kind of curious how she's gonna end up getting this one though, because if I remember, like Lee already had his extra frame, and so did Alpha. So did Lucia. I think that frame is called Lotus or something. They had their extra frames ready. It's just that they equipped it because, you know, the situation called for it. Things were getting serious and they needed a little more firepower. But Liv is a support unit, so maybe her new frame is something that'll help her heal faster or something. If it were not for the hum of the engine in your ears, there would be no sensation of the ship moving. The sense of emptiness continues to escalate. Just as your consciousness is about to succumb, numbness makes its way up your spine. Everything you see appears to stop, as if someone pressed the pause button. Spirit, welcome! Welcome, hello! Hope you had a good weekend. Hi! Fragments of memory begin to rush before your eyes in a kaleidoscope of colors. You were infiltrated by Huashu in City 075. Your mind beacon was forced into a corrupted mind. Was it forced though if I actually, you know, accepted it? I was, you know, it's Luna. It's Luna. It's Lucia's little sister. I had to. I look cool. Yeah, it's my little avatar. My best friend made it for me. How you been? I've been okay. It was kind of a busy weekend because my youngest brother was visiting from college. That was like his first time seeing the baby, the little kitten. So it was cool showing it off to him. Initiating a mind connection with the corrupted is unprecedented. After a thorough examination, we found that your mind beacon has become corrupted. What? The mind beacon can get corrupted? Yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be Kamui coming, and then the day after that, it's gonna be the start of the 4.2 patch for HSR. I can't wait. We got a bunch of stuff coming up this week. And up until this point, you haven't been able to recover from the corruption. I'm sure you've also noticed that your mind has fallen into a constant state of intermittent memory replays. Oh? Memory replays isn't exactly the most appropriate term for your symptoms, but it'll do for the time being. You mean the flashback things that we've been seeing? I thought that was just because the we entered Babylonia's virtual space. It's not because of that anymore. In other words, you will randomly fall into a chaotic storm of memory flashbacks without warning. Well, that don't sound good. Wait, Liv Luminance also has short hair if you're not wrong. So Liv just prefers the short hair, it's just her character thing. Okay, now for me personally, I like her with the long hair. But okay, Liv, if that's what you like. Yeah, Luminance has short hair. You got 6K black cards and 8K R&D, all for Kamui? Wow, you're more excited for Kamui than I thought. Some of your repressed or supposedly forgotten thoughts, numerous fragments of memory will bombard your consciousness. There's nothing wrong with your physical body other than the mind beacon pollution, at least for now. Good to know I'm at least physically healthy, just mentally unhealthy. The Science Council also wants to put you under constant observation to see whether any other physiological functions will be affected by your corrupted mind beacon. You hope you get Kamui and his weapon early. You need alpha funds. I would have assumed that you'd only pull for alpha and only get the free characters, but I didn't expect you to be that big of a fan of Kamui Spirit. But that's for later. I think you'll have more difficult challenges to tackle in the interim. Your vision fragments again. Oh, we're seeing flashbacks of Nicola. Also, what happened to the music? Hello? Am I the only one who can't hear the music? Nope, the game just isn't playing music. Got it. You're grinding every bit of resource for SSS Alpha. Hi, Corey! Hello! Welcome. Thank you for sliding in. I hope you've had a good weekend. What's up? You need meta. Oh, that's why you want Kamui. You know what? Understandable. What happened to the What happened in the underground cavern is enough for you to be court-martialed. Oh, Nicola, no. I don't want court-martial. You're still sitting here only because you were responsible for defeating the polyphage. Locking up the heroes responsible for defeating the polyphage would only cause an uproar among the people, so the decision was made to allow you to continue field operations. I'm surprised he told people about the polyphage, since it basically just stayed underground, just stayed in the Ascendant's basement the whole time. He could just keep it a secret, Of course, we'd still have reported it to him that Grey Ravens fought the polyphage to save Luna and stuff. But I'm surprised Nicola told the people about it enough for there to be an uproar, if people found out that he punished us for it. However, don't think your merits have offset the severity of this issue. The authorities won't simply let bygones be bygones. As long as the distrust remains, countless pairs of eyes will be watching your every move. If you do anything out of the ordinary during this time, even the president can't protect you. Nicola's always been blunt. Pay it no mind. You know what he meant. It was more of a reminder than a warning. He said court-martialed. Wait, how is that not a warning? I know. Why are you telling me this? Because I have a suspicion that this isn't over yet. I mean, the Ascendants are all still alive. I'm pretty sure even Gabriel's still alive. We didn't really see him die on screen, right? So yeah, it's not over. I need people I can trust and deploy when the time comes. That includes the Grey Ravens. Just pull Kamui once to get him SS0 for free and weapon, and it's enough. Done. You got a competent fire breaker. If only he got the SS3 buff in SS0 passive. I still haven't really looked into what Kamui can do, but you know what? Good for them making him meta. It feels like he deserved it, after 2 whole years without a new frame. Might as well make him more meta to the game. I don't have time to have my people tangled up in bureaucracy, and neither do you. At the very least, soldiers should die on the battlefield, not on the gallows of those they serve. I prefer if the soldier didn't die at all, though, Hasen. Especially if that soldier is me. The most important thing for Eden now is to solve the problems and defeat the enemy, not go on a witch hunt against one of our own. Witch hunt! As long as you can prove your loyalty and your worth to Eden in the next battle, that supervision will naturally lift. But, yeah, right now, I've heard from Asimov about your problems. Do you want to stay in the ICU or continue duty on the front line? Are you giving me a choice, though, Hassan? You gonna skip the fine apps for now? You wanna be ready for at least one coding? Kamui's getting a whole lot of attention. Yeah, it feels like it's deserved. The poor Kamui. He deserved the attention and the abs. I still haven't seen what he looks like, but I have heard you guys mention that he has good abs and childbearing hips somehow. Good for him. Hi Kanoya, hello. It's been a while. Everything okay with you and your family? You good? Kamui got a third frame before Alpha. Ah, doesn't Alpha's beach outfit count as a new frame, or is that no? It's not. It doesn't count. I mean, if you consider Alpha and Lucia the same person, then technically Alpha has like 5, 6 frames. Yeah, I got a little PNG. Look at it. Look at it. I'm a PNG tuber now. Do you want? Okay. Of course. A golden arc of light suddenly shatters your recollection. So we're just getting flashbacks at random times. Okay. Well, I guess that's exactly what we needed. You know, something else wrong with our head. Your consciousness returns in an instant. Oh, it's a coding. Sorry. I thought the beach outfit was a frame. Okay, it's just a coding. Milking everyone by having 2 versions of you. It's deserved. It's what she deserves. Lucia and Alpha, they both deserve to have 2 versions of each other. You do not have. I mean, technically, Kamui also has another version of him. Kamu's right there. You do not have the time to think about how long you were out, seeing that the arc slicing through your memory was not an illusion. It is real. Outside the porthole, the unchanging scenery suddenly shifts with the appearance of the arc. Like a scimitar fresh out of the forge, a gentle and curved horizon forms in the afterglow of the golden light amidst the sea of stars. Selena, is that you? Selena! Ooh. Hidden up in this moment, Earth finally reveals its true face. Excuse me. Whew. Soon the faint golden light turns blinding white as the transport craft continues to coast along in orbit. The sun slowly rises from the distant shadow, illuminating the surface of the blue planet in its entirety. Were you pulling in 4.2 on Wednesday? I don't know yet, Kanoya. I don't know if I want to pull for any of them. Because Silver Wolf is great, and Venetia is also great. But I did promise myself I'd only pull for the Astral Express characters this year. I promised. Lucia has physical, fire, electric, ice. Oh, you want a dark Lucia. Technically, you already got a dark Lucia. That's basically Alpha. Nihil Lucia is okay too. I see, thank you. Lucia getting Nihil is also possible. Would it be more likely for Alpha to get that first though? Or are you guys really counting Alpha as Lucia now? Without the atmosphere to scatter the light, the dazzling rays of sunlight are sharp and absent in their usual tenderness. Just staring at it momentarily fills your brain with an unspeakable sense of vertigo. Commandant? Someone seems to be calling out to you by your ear. Commandant! Right as your thoughts are about to drift away again, the stern voice brings you back to reality. Lucia, is that you? You're pulling for Silver Wolf and Sunday. Sunday's getting a rerun! Oh my god. The last... I didn't know that actually. Okay, the last Sunday rerun, I couldn't get him at E1 at all. Like, I lost 50-50 the whole time. But if Sunday is getting a rerun, then ho. I might just pull for Sunday. You know? Even for Imbiber Lune, I already got him at E2. Even if he does get a rerun, I'm still pulling for Imbiber Lune too. Like, I want all of my Astral Express characters at E6, if possible. I want them all my Astral Express crew. They're mine. Alpha's gonna be ice. We need Gen 4 ice. But Alpha, I feel like she's not really... I don't know how to explain it. Even with the white hair, she doesn't feel like an ice type of character, you know? Unless she evolves more in the later part of the story. I don't know, maybe it's because they put her in a lot of red themed outfits. I feel like she's not really giving off ice vibes. You suddenly turn your head to see Liv and Lucia standing before you. With looks of worry, Lee furrows his eyebrows faintly. Lee just looks disappointed in us. Lee lets out a sigh of relief. His frowned brows seem to relax as well. She is cool. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. She is cool. Someone's gonna be salty on a banner with all that excitement. Wesley! Hello! Hi, Wesley. Happy Monday. Hopefully you had a good weekend and a good Monday. They look directly at the sun without the proper equipment. Even though the porthole is equipped with a filter, the UV light is still enough to burn your retinas. Oh. Oh, I didn't know that actually. Okay. I'm fine. I was just lost in thought. Lucia looks out of the porthole to where you were looking. I guess that would make sense. If you're in space, the sun would be more intense because there's no um, layers of atmosphere and stratosphere to filter out most of the UV rays, huh? Yeah, but no other makes sense for Alpha. You know what? I hope you get what you want, Spirit. I hope you get your Ice Alpha. And who knows? Maybe it does make more sense later in the story. I just haven't gotten to later in the story yet. Who's the gremlin in the corner? It's me! It's me! With my fucked up, banged up laptop and my frizzy hair. It's me right after work. Even though I don't work anymore, even though I'm currently unemployed, this is basically what I looked like every night in the last year while I was streaming. She seems to want to say something, but before she can speak, she's interrupted by another harsh voice. Is now the time for slacking and idle chit-chat, Grey Raven Commandant? I'm gonna go on a limb and guess that that's Karen. Following this, a hologram projection appears before you. Oh, it's not Karen. Who the fuck are you? Fluorescent lights form the outline of an elderly man in the air. He is wearing the same standard-issued Commandant uniform. She's a Commandant? I mean, okay, hello, fellow squishy human. Every meticulous pleat is as stern and upright as his expression. Kamui's coding is really cool. You might want to spend on coding it instead of the character. You know what? I hope all of you Kamui wanters become Kamui havers by tomorrow. I give you all of my luck. I still don't know if I wanna pull for him yet, but you know what? Whether I pull or not, I hope you guys get all of the luck that I may have gotten. The man's eyes are slightly clouded with age, but his posture remains upright like that of an unyielding pine. Salty half-dead man. Dark got Bianca. Fire's got Kamui. Lightning's got Liv. Liv is lightning. Oh. Nihility's got Nervatia. Only ice is missing. You know, I'm not hoping for it, but they might just release a new ice character that's not Alpha. Cause, I don't know. Maybe I would feel like a character like Alpha, they'd want to make like a bigger deal about her, you know? Maybe if there is gonna be a new Alpha frame, they would announce it probably like, what, half a year in advance? Kamui coding reminds you of Noctis from FF Final Fantasy with blonde hair. I don't know who that is, but I will take you at your word. With eyes like an old falcon, he scans all the soldiers aboard the transport craft. Although you're not communicating face to face and there's no literal eye contact, all soldiers present subconsciously straighten their posture as they meet his gaze. This is Hans speaking. Hello, Hans. I will be the chief commander for this ground mission. Asimov, the Science Council's chief technician, has already explained the specific matters of this mission to you. I won't go over them, as I'm sure most of you have already committed the details of this mission to memory. I'm sure the Grey Ribbon Commandant has, but I, as the player and the viewer, have not. So, you mind repeating yourself, please? However, given the lack of discipline among the construct squads I just witnessed, let me reiterate these orders to prevent further negligence. How dare you! I hope that Grey Raven does not count among the lack of discipline of construct squads. Kamui! Definitely would count. Lack of discipline, yep, Kamui. But not my Grey Ravens. My children are good kids. Upon saying this, Hans's gaze seems to sweep past you. Meet his gaze? Let's begin the mission briefing. Following Hans's words, your mind returns to before your departure. Dun 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 dun. 24 hours ago, Babylonia War Room, several commandants gather before the war table. The battle against the Ascendants has come to an end. Your heroic deeds on the surface were astonishing. Kuro usually lets beta testers record footage for the beta when it's out, but in the new alpha case, they're going full confidential. Oh, so we're not gonna know what she will be anytime soon. Okay. Oh. That was my phone going off reminding me to feed the kitten. But I don't really hear it, so I think it's still asleep. I'm gonna let it sleep And then, once it wakes up, then I'll pause the stream to feed it. You're named Hans. I expected great things from you. Don't you dare be pathetic. And I commented on his post that reminds you of Noctis. People replied, that's Kamui, they're not the same. Had to clarify. He's gonna be super pathetic. I mean, yeah, when they introduce talking and named NPCs to us, you just know that they're gonna die. They're gonna be dead before the end of the chapter. Unfortunately, the Parliament is unable to give you the medals and honors you deserve at the moment. After receiving this urgent assembly order, you've probably realized new troubles have arisen and are imminent. Celica, project the information. Celica, do the thing. Yes, President. Celica quickly operates the terminal and the holographic projection reveals a series of remote sensing images. Celica, do the thing, Celica. Immediately, the dark blue screen is covered with a large swath of red. Swath? Sandrine crystal clusters bloom on the surface of in the shape of arteries. Ew, forming a cobweb of rivers entrenched in the surface. It's a whole river of watermelon juice. So it's not just in that city. It's here too, wherever here is. Some of the images are very blurry, either due to issues with the transmissions, or perhaps the photographers were facing external threats and unable to record everything. The Hans I know will be disappointed then. You should check Kamui's PV later, they're kind of funny. Also spoiler free. Okay. Yeah, I actually need to check out Silverwolf's new trailer too. Yeah, so I'll check out Silverwolf and Kamui. We'll see what these two new characters have got going. Savior Selena, I thought you only had Lucia, huh? Are you two-timing my daughter now? Someone gasped shortly after the entire conference room falls deathly quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Hassan clears his throat, breaking the solemn silence. By the way, Corey, which Hans are you speaking of? The only Hans that pops into my mind is the one in Frozen. That's the only one that I can think of right now. Asimov, since you were the first person to organize the data on the current situation, I think it's only appropriate you take it from here. Asimov nods and approaches the war table. Asimov being funny? Where? By the look of his haggard expression, pale lips, and faint dark circles under his eyes, he appears to have had several sleepless nights the past few days. He appears to be in need of self-care. Asimov, go take a nap. Go eat some good food. Go do some skincare or whatever. Take care of yourself, buddy. Go take a hot bath. Do they have baths in Babylonia? However, right as he opens his mouth to speak, his usual professionalism as the Science Council's chief technical officer returns. Some of the teams that weren't dispatched during the last large-scale ground operation may be unaware of this, so I'll explain it briefly. We need more wives. Oh, so that's why they added Kamui like that, huh? They just need more wives. The game recognizes him as a waifu. Got it. As you can see, during our last ground operation, we uncovered dark red tides containing new... He pauses for a moment, as if struggling to come up with the proper wording. New forms of the punishing virus. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, the bugs. The big bootied bugs. Based on their physical properties, the Science Council has decided on the name Red Tide for the time being. However, this is definitely not a natural phenomenon caused by the explosion and proliferation of red algae in the conventional ecological sense. This entity has nothing to do with water. Yeah, I didn't really think that the red tide was red algae, Asimov. I'm pretty sure that was very obvious. Selena deserves love too. She suffered too. She's kind and considerate. She can be my bestie. Okay, so you just love Selena platonically. I got it. Selena going through her puberty phase. Yeah, Lucia is waifu, Selena is bestie. Selena is daughter, I guess? After conducting an analysis of samples, the red liquid you see is the punishing virus itself. One of our construct teams engaged in a direct confrontation with the Ascendants during a previous operation. Nicola suddenly steps forward and interrupts Asimov. Get to the point, Asimov. He's trying to tell a story. He's building up the backstory and stuff. Nicola let Asimov present whatever information he feels is pertinent to the mission. Mom, Dad, don't fight. Asimov furrows his eyebrows, seemingly slightly displeased, then continues speaking. I won't repeat the specific details of the operation, only the results. The commandants present who have participated in previous operations have most likely encountered new forms of corrupted. These enemies are unlike conventional corrupted. Instead, they are a form of pure punishing virus, possessing apparent biological features. Possessing bug features. Very bug-like. More specifically, they represent an evolution of the punishing virus, punishing hetero creatures. The specific mechanism and reasons are unknown. We don't know why the punishing virus is capable of self-evolution. The only thing we can say for certain is that they are created by the punishing virus within the Red Tide. Two timing is a bold assumption considering your Lucia Alpha stash. Marry one Lucia, get one free. Oh my god, it is. That is exactly what it is. Buy one, get one free for Lucia and Alpha. Like, you can't even say they're twins or anything, right? They're clones of each other. Or Lucia is a clone of Alpha, so, you know. Yeah, basically. Quarry knows. The Red Tide will devour machinery and organisms, then decompose them into nourishment for breeding hetero creatures. Oh. I did not know the bugs did that. Okay. Originally, after repelling the Ascendants, the proliferation of the Red Tide began to diminish. However, we received a transmission from the recon team 24 hours ago. So, that meeting was 24 hours after we got back from City 075 from the Red Tide place. The Red Tide has resurfaced. The proliferation is different from last time, so we didn't realize the severity until it was already too late. The Red Tide is like a relentless cancer, going into remission only to recur anew. Oh, okay, that's a good analogy. Okay. The Red Tide initially lurked in an underground cavern that was designed as nuclear fallout shelter by City 075. It circulated throughout the city's underground waterways before reaching critical mass and emerging onto the surface. So this place is nearby City 075 then? Where is this place? Like, if this were a real place, this looks like a desert, kind of, right? We dispatched our recon team to the city ruins to ensure that it was under our supervision. Got a pic of Lucia and Alpha in wedding dresses together. What your dreams show you at 3 AM. You wake up at 4. Instead of having a sleep paralysis demon, you have sleep paralysis waifus. However, the characteristics of the Red Tide seem to fluctuate without rhyme or reason. In this regard, it's not a tide in the traditional sense, but more of a fluid organism that can act autonomously. Ugh. Plus, the underground cavern was built in secret, so many places are in our blind spots. Some underground waterways connect to nearby rivers through an intricate network of pipelines. Even if the rivers have dried up, the riverbeds and ravines are still there. A portion of the Red Tide was able to slip out of the city undetected through these blind spots. Moreover, as you just saw on the screen, the Red Tide has formed tributaries along the surface of the wasteland. After receiving this information from our scouts on the surface, the Science Council has conducted emergency tests on this form of Red Tide. You need your wifeys, we all do. We all need them. Can't relate, you sleep at 3 and wake up at 4. Okay, well, I see that you guys just need better sleeping habits. Though I can't really say much, considering my sleeping habits are also very, 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 very bad. Very unhealthy. Okay, go have fun in your walk, run, whatever. Have fun exercising. Bye-bye. Fortunately, this Red Tide isn't as rampant as the first time, nor has it expanded to the point of becoming an unstoppable deluge? Unfortunately, its distribution is still far too prolific. The Red Tide has formed a real river, dispersing into countless smaller tributaries. After calculating the course of these tributaries, we found one thing. They are headed towards... Asimov's finger swipes the screen, displaying a wider version of the map. Towards the ocean, where all rivers end up. His fingertip points to a large blue sector. The ocean. Yay, I was right! Pain is an old friend. You, you sound so old when you say say that, Curry. It's heading toward the shoreline. If we allow the red tide to reach the shoreline, there's no turning back. Unlike the ocean, land serves as an inorganic buffer zone that can block the red tide. There's no better medium for the wanton proliferation and spread of the red tide than water. The whole sea will become corrupted, devoured, and assimilated by the red tide. If only we still had Derek. You think Derek could just drink up the red tide like it's actually watermelon juice? By that time, the punishing virus will spread to every corner of the world. In order to curb the spread of the red tide, Babylonia has formulated a plan to bombard the red tide with the Longinus Arsenal, referencing the plan made during the battle at the space station. The first step of this plan is to obtain the exact coordinates and location of the red tide. So, we know for sure that the red tide is only in one river though, right? Because if it's in several rivers and all of them are headed towards the ocean, then we need to do something about those other rivers too. During the Golden Age, you only need to send a request to SatNav system to obtain the specific coordinates for an area. I think this is supposed to be satellite navigation system. The red tide is preparing for summer ocean trip. The red tide also wants to be a part of the beach episode. But now these satellites have become corrupted by the punishing virus, so we can no longer rely on them. Oh, that's why they don't have, I always thought, why can't they just use GPS, you know? Why does Kamui keep getting lost? Doesn't he have GPS and stuff? They don't have GPS because all their satellites have gotten corrupted. Oh, I did not think of that. Oh my god. Can't believe I didn't consider that. Hassan approaches the war table. Next, I will brief everyone on the mission. As you wish, Mr. President. Asimov nods, then takes a step back. Celica? Celica, do the thing! Celica presses a button. The movable panel in the center of the war table separates into two sections with a crisp pop, and as a small platform rises from within. To everyone's surprise, a long black hexagonal needle, nearly 1.5 meters in length, appears. 1.5 meters? That's basically what the that's basically my height. This device was probably developed by the Science Council. It's called the Bit Domain Node. It will be distributed to all team captains present at the beginning of the operation. Your task is to locate the edge of the red tide, insert the bit domain node, activate it, and then protect it until you receive the evacuation order from Babylonia. Okay. So we just plop it into the red tide? Just stick it in there? The total coverage must include all of the red tide tributaries. We need to remove it all at once to ensure that no residual tide is left this time. If you're attacked by hetero creatures during this period, hold your position to ensure the integrity and security of the bit domain node. In order to ensure that this operation goes according to plan, we will saturate our deployments, positioning, and attacks. 8 teams will be deployed to execute this calibration mission. Each team is composed of an elite task force led by a commandant and several construct squads. The elite task force led by the commandant will be responsible for deploying the node, while the construct teams will be responsible for protecting them in the interim. Okay, got it. Just stick it in the ground, protect it, then we buy. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward plan, kind of, for now. Now that but I'm expecting shit to hit the fan and somehow evolve Selena. So, you know, for now, it's pretty straightforward. Hopefully, all 8-bit domain nodes will be deployed. That's the only ideal situation. However, Babylonia needs at least 3-bit domain nodes to be successfully deployed in order to obtain accurate enough coordinates. If you have any questions, please raise them now, and Asimov will explain the details to you. Should I mean, I'm sure the Grey Raven's prodigal commandant knows already what this is, but I don't, so what's a bit domain node? Where to start? It's not overly technical, it's a rush job used to temporarily replace satellites. Oh, the SatNav system continuously broadcasts its current coordinates and time. However, thanks to the punishing virus, there are no navigation satellites available in low Earth orbit, so we have to use bit domain nodes instead. When they're deployed on the surface, they will measure the distance and angle between the other nodes, then continuously broadcast a signal to space. So, it's like, um, it's like in TV shows and movies when you see people trying to, the FBI or whatever trying to trace someone's call, they triangulate it between different cell towers and stuff. So it's like that, and that's why we need at least 3 of them. After receiving the signal, Babylonia will calculate the specific coordinates of each node, then delineate the attack range for the Longinus arsenal. Babylonia will inform you after successfully receiving the signal and calculating the coordinates. Until then, you cannot retreat. It should be noted that the current orbital altitude of Babylonia allows us to orbit Earth in about 2 hours. 2 hours? Orbiting the whole Earth? Wow. The signal from the nodes will only be received when passing through the airspace within the range of the nodes. This is also why you need to defend the nodes upon activation. Are there any other questions? Alright, there's just one more thing I'd like to add. Unlike when the red tide was found in City 075, the consistency is more like running water than thick mud this time. We aren't sure why. Okay, so the red tide's been diluted? Probably by the actual water of the rivers and stuff? Echo Aria, chapter, fuck Gabriel. You just realized what chapter it was, Sticks? Regardless, all you need to know is that the concentration and volatility of the red tide are significantly less than what it was before. Only when the tide rises will the punishing virus concentration reach the equivalent found in dead zones. According to monitoring reports, low tide concentration is within the range of normal punishing zones. This is one of the reasons why the recon team failed to notice that the red tide had moved. Thankfully, however, this means that the protective devices enhanced by the Science Council on such short notice are sufficient for working in proximity to the red tide for the duration of the mission. However, it's for only a short duration. Avoid close contact with the red tide after landing, especially during high tide. I mean, yeah, you would think that's common sense. Stay away from the red water, got it. That should suffice. Seems like everyone fully understands the mission and the gravity of our dilemma. This presents an important opportunity for Babylonia to launch an attack. However, we need to change orbit and reduce altitude to commence the attack, which puts us at risk of intersecting the network of corrupted satellites. As such, our anti-air defenses won't allow us to remain in position for very long. You hate this chef. Apparently, we all hate him. And I guess this is the chapter that shows me why I should hate him as a lot more than I do. Similarly, your mission is not to annihilate hetero creatures, but to deploy the bit domain nodes. Got it. Main priority is to deploy the bits. The nodes aren't particularly difficult to deploy, but in a strategic sense, this mission is crucial. It requires a high degree of collaboration and team awareness from all of you. Avoid head-on confrontations and needless acts of heroism that do not otherwise serve the success of the mission. Our top priority is to protect the nodes until Babylonia receives the coordinate data. I know that the commandants of the task force present are among the most elite. I do not question your ability. However, this operation needs neither personal heroism nor combat ability. Kashiki! Hi! You slept less today, so your brain's not totally functioning. Then go to sleep, Sticks. Go. Go lie down. It's okay, you don't need to stay up for me. Hello, Kashiki. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you had a good weekend. What matters most are judgment and decision-making for the overall benefit of the mission. Most of you are used to fighting solely with your own team, so for this operation only, I've specifically arranged Hans to act as the chief commander for the calibration operation at ground level. Hassan slightly turns to one side. The silver-haired man standing behind Hassan is stern, in stern silence since the beginning, steps forward and salutes. Yes, Mr. President. Some of the team captains present show faint expressions of confusion on how an elderly man, seemingly a few years older than even Hassan, is serving as the chief commander for such an important mission. Yeah, have we ever heard of this guy before? Why is he in charge now? Why can't I be in charge? Oh, you're working right now? Oh, well, in that case, don't let me distract you from working. You focus on work so that you can stop working sooner, so that you can sleep sooner. Sticks. Take care of yourself. Yeah, it's adorable, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you. It was created by my best friend. It's supposed to be what I looked like mostly last year while I still had a job. That's me after coming home from work and then turning on my fucked up laptop to stream. Please make accurate judgments and verify with Chief Commander Hans before activating your bit domain node to ensure that Babylonia receives the most accurate coordinates. The rise and fall of the red tide will greatly affect the real-time topographic changes within the combat zone. There may have already been significant changes within the duration of this meeting. In case of emergency, please follow Chief Commander Hans's orders. Oh wait, his name is Hassan and that guy's name is Hans. Are they related somehow? Hassan, is that supposed to be your dad? This concludes our mission briefing. As previously stated, give priority to my command. Do not question my judgment. Obeying orders is the first requirement of a soldier. I hope the forces of Babylonia nowadays won't let me down. Damn. I mean, yeah, sure. He's an old guy, right? I feel like he's gonna be let down no matter what we do. You wanna be in charge? Are you named Hans? But I'm supposed to be a prodigy among commandants, you know? I'm supposed to be the best of the best. Why can't I be in charge? They're not related, both just old. Okay. With that, his hologram disappears from the transport craft. Right as the fluorescence light dissipates, everyone cannot help but breathe a collective sigh of relief. Whispers from other construct teams can be heard nearby. Have you met Chief Commander Hans? No, I've not. I haven't even heard of him before this. No, but he looks older than the president. Isn't he a bit old for going out on the front line? Bro, giving the aura of senile old man with those words. He does, right? Right. And the fact that we haven't heard of him before makes me think that he was, he's already retired. But because of this mission, he was brought back, you know, just this once for an emergency. But, you know, that doesn't mean that he's still in top condition to fight or anything. So why should he be in charge then? Who knows? Don't write off Chief Commander Hans so easily. There must be a reason why the president arranged for this. It could just be that the president doesn't like Hans and sees this as a way to get rid of him. Maybe. Hans is goated. A disappointment to all who are named Hans. Okay, well, I will try to reserve my opinions for now. Okay, if you guys think that Hans is okay or like Hans is goated, then I will reserve my negative opinions then. It's just he hasn't impressed me yet. Commander Chief Hans was born in the Golden Age. He experienced the post-pandemic age and Acadia evacuation firsthand. I mean, so did Chang Yu, so did Lady Chu, and I'm more impressed with them. I guess especially Chang Yu, because like he mostly danced during the evacuation stuff, right? In life, you're either a Hans or not a Hans. Oh, well, I guess I'm under the category of not a Hans. We see. After that, he continued to work in the Center for Combat Intelligence as one of its core members. I didn't expect that this operation would need someone of his caliber to join us. I'm sure he's seen his fair share of warfare and bloodshed, just like the president. He's bound to be strict on others. It's not his experience that I have trouble about, it's his age. You know, sure, the experience helps, but people that old aren't exactly known for being the best physically or mentally. I should know. I'm Hans's age. I should definitely know what it's like. We're just slower and stupider as we get older. Don't take too hard what just happened. You worried about me? I just don't want my commandant to worry about such trivial matters. His personal information is not confidential and can be accessed directly in the archives. From the Golden Age, he says, I say, time to change an old man. Behold the chief chapter. Yeah, get with the times, old man. There's nothing worth talking about in private. You smile and nod at Lee. You glance to the side at Lucia, who is staring out of the porthole. Lucia? Ah! Wait, you got your head in the clouds? Apologies, Commandant. What are you looking at? I'm just looking at the same thing you were, Commandant. Sunrise? Yes. You weren't just lost in thought, were you? What were you thinking about, Commandant? Sunrise at low Earth orbit looks completely different than it does on the surface. Is that what you were thinking? Yeah, pretty much. Look at us, we're sharing a brain cell! Lucia lets out a barely visible smile. She's cute. I'm finally beginning to understand what you're thinking, Commandant. It's so bright. It's even overloading my visual components. Hey, you should listen to Lee, don't stare directly at the sun. Even if you don't have normal human retinas, those are still retinas that can, you know, burn out. Actually, it's been a while. This note is kind of long. Let me drink first. Okay. In low Earth orbit, Babylonia completes one revolution around the Earth in approximately 2 hours. Such a sunrise occurs more than 12 times a day. All residents of Eden born in space have long been accustomed to such a spectacle. The rising and setting of the sun no longer serves as symbols of hope. Day and night are no longer measured in 24-hour cycles. People must rely on other ways to define their day. So instead of 24-hour days, Babylonia gets 2-hour days? That sounds... I don't know what that sounds like, actually. I think, in a way, it would be fun, you know? You only work for 1 hour, and then you get to nap for 1 hour, and then work for 1 hour, and then nap for one hour again. But on the other hand, you know, our bodies aren't built to be able to do that. So, it could get really tiring very, very fast. Plume cheek. Enough for full rest. Yeah, just, what, 2-hour days? Okay, I mean, I want to just work for 1 hour a day as well. That sounds nice. How much longer? How much longer until landfall? 300 kilometers is not that far. Looking down from this height, the entirety of the blue planet is no longer in view. Only the changing surface. The red-tinted earth, the blue ocean, rolling storm clouds along the tropics, dancing in the stratosphere, quietly shrouding the earth. Can you see the Great Wall of China? That's what I heard. That the people in space, they usually can see the Great Wall of China. For some peculiar reason, as the distance gets closer and closer, the haunting sense of emptiness gradually disappears. This is not going to, but returning to Earth. Upon arrival, everything will once again carry its intended meaning. It is the cradle of all life and the home for which all life will return. Attention passengers! Pom-Pom, is that you? The aircraft will begin to decelerate and reduce orbital altitude. Reverse thrusters will ignite in 15 seconds. Rapid deceleration will generate 2 Gs of force. Please fasten your seatbelts. Oh, I don't remember enough about physics to know whether this is a big deal or not. The broadcast on the intercom suddenly halts all extraneous thoughts. Sit upright and firmly grip the handrails. A sudden force pushes the crew firmly against the spongy padding of the seats. The overwhelming pressure strains their eyes, hearts, and bodies. But this oppressive force and restraint completely dispelled all previous unprovoked confusion. And I just realized something, the image of the sun going up and stuff, isn't that the same sight that Ayla saw in her interlude? So is this a hint that Ayla is also a part of this whole mission? Alright, I think it has been an hour-ish. I think I should try to feed the kitten now. So I will be right back. In the meantime, you guys can just look at my cute little TV. Alright, be right back. Hey, I'm back. The kitten has been pooped and fed and warmed. Oh, also, I don't remember if I told you guys this, but the kitten can meow now. Not meow. Sorry, it can purr now. It's not really the same kind of purring as an adult cat. An adult cat's purring is more like an engine, right? A car engine or a bike engine. But this kitten, its purring is slower, so it's more like trying to get your car engine to start. The ding, 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 ding. the sound that it makes just when you're turning the ignition. Yeah, that's basically the speed at which this kitten purrs. But it can purr now. Also, it's been fed now, which means we can go back to playing the game. So let's go. Oh wait, let me. Huh? What do you mean? I have no more serum. Hold on. What happened to my serum? Serum. There was something that I could do to get serums every day, right? Wait, what happened to my serums? No more serum? I remember there was something that I could do to get serums. I forgot what it was. Where can I claim it? Hello Kashiki, I'm back. Kitty's all comfy now. Yes, the kitty is all good. Was it in top up? Okay, top up. Yeah, free serum. More free serum. Okay, that should be okay now. Should be enough. Probably. if it's not enough, then well, I guess that's what the black cards are for. Alright, let's go. Let's continue. Oh, items. Yeah, why didn't I check items? Damn, I almost forgot. Why do I have Nirvatya?
Okay. Where?
Alright, let's go. Let's continue. Wait, can you guys hear the game? Yep. Oh, no. On the desert wasteland, jagged rock formations jut out of the ground through which the red tide flows. Wanchi squats on a towering rock formation. Wanchi, I haven't gotten to your interlude yet. Red tide quietly trickles below. Okay. Although the red tide here occasionally swells, it's not an unstoppable force like previous accounts in the city ruins. So the watermelon juice really has been diluted here, huh? Occasionally he sees strange debris, rusty metal, shredded rubber, and even pale animal bones floating in the red ichor. There doesn't seem to be any fear in Wanchi. He just lets out a big yawn instead. Wanchi's just tired. Look at him with his little eye covers. Ugh. How much longer do I gotta wait? Eye mask! That's what it's called. The little sleeping eye mask. On the rugged surface of the rock, there's not a flat enough space to place the tripod for his sniper rifle. Oh, he's a doctor and a sniper. Okay. Wanchi Hypnos Lucid Dreamer. What's the next frame? Nightmare? It could be, you know, Daydreamer or something. There's a lot of really cool, like, dream or sleep-related puns that you can use. Well, the latest information should have been uploaded to Babylonia. What's taking them so long? I don't know what's going on with the captain either. I'm always left to do all the recon work here. Now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Literally. If they don't dispatch any reinforcements, this place is gonna... The red tide tributary had only just reached this place 24 hours ago. Ah, so Wanchi was the one who took the pictures, huh? The one from... that they said was taken 24 hours ago then. But now, aside from only the tallest of rocks, the entire area has been completely flooded. Fortunately, the red tide is only quietly flowing and not surging out of control. The rock on which he stands still towers high above, The invert device and protective equipment strengthened by the support force on such short notice enable him to make observations from a relatively safe distance without fear of corruption. However, this cannot continue much longer. It was only a sparse red tide tributary not long ago. Now it has completely inundated the area. Even if he proceeds with caution, he is better off leaving this area sooner rather than later. Not only is the punishing virus concentration rising, the red tide also brings life. Life to the punishing virus. Da da da! The red tide surging below the rock is a breeding ground for hetero creatures. Large red crystal clusters, like reeds and shrubs, surround the trickling tide. Red creatures of various shapes and sizes pass between them. These creatures are neither corrupted machines nor constructs. These hetero creatures glowing with a red aura are merely vestiges of life on Earth. Vestiges of life on Earth that had been devoured by the red tide. On the riverbank, Wanchi catches a glimpse of a motionless stone suddenly crack as 4 limbs protrude from within. Oh. So it's not just giving birth to bug hetero creatures, it's also giving birth to rock hetero creatures? Wanchi's bionic skin quickly calculates the current wind speed. 1.6 meters per second, wind blowing from 4 o'clock. My sniper scope should move a notch right to compensate for the wind. Slightly leaning to the side, the crosshairs in the narrow scope moves 1 mil to the right. Hetero got aura. Yeah, it's just constantly breeding, huh? Ready, aim, fire, bullseye. Boom. Oh, okay. The bullet releases from the chamber, landing a direct hit on the hetero creature. The hetero creatures are multiplying. The hetero creature collapses onto the ground, writhes in pain, and then becomes limp and lifeless. Ah, such a short life. Today was your birthday, and today was your death day. Soon after, the overflowing red tide reclaims it into nutrients for the hetero creatures to spawn from within. Ew. Ah, there's no end to them. Setting down his sniper rifle, Wanchi takes out his rangefinder binoculars and looks in the direction of the extending tributary. This rock is about 20 meters in height, without obstacles and regardless of meteorological conditions. The maximum distance that can be visually measured should be... Wanchi closes his eyes for a brief second before arriving at a conclusion. 17 kilometers. However, the rangefinder can no longer see the end of the tributary. In other words, the red tide tributary currently flowing below is extending at a speed of more than 17 kilometers away. Looks like this is no laughing matter. He puts away the rangefinder, then stands up. Suddenly, the deafening roar of motors rumbles in the sky above. Wanchi quickly looks up, his drowsy eyes suddenly open wide. Huh, I don't believe it. Shooting stars aren't visible during the day, but in Wanchi's golden eyes he sees the vivid reflection of metallic meteor followed by a long trail of black smoke as it descends to Earth. You'll laugh last because you came today. Okay. Welcome back, Spirit. Hope you had a good run or walk, whichever you did. Attention passengers. The aircraft will begin to decelerate and reduce orbital Oh, they already said this before. Attention passengers. The aircraft is approaching the ionosphere, entering communication blackout for 67 seconds. All departments have switched to onboard wired communication. Attention passengers. The aircraft is approaching the mesosphere, preparing to shut down the aerospace engine and switch to aircraft engine. Please fasten your seatbelts and brace for turbulence. Turbulence? Attention passengers, the aircraft has entered the inner atmosphere, initiating aviation procedure. Attention passengers, the aircraft has entered the stratosphere. Attention passengers, the aircraft has entered the troposphere. Oh my god, I don't remember any of this from geography. I'm sure I learned it, I just probably didn't pay any attention. Wanchi saying 1 shot, 1 kill. Wanchi is trigger confirmed. Attention passengers, due to impaired visibility from the current sandstorm, the system is unable to confirm the location of the red tide. Oh. The system can't detect the red tide. Then we must proceed according to the original plan. Our mission starts now. Disperse and proceed with your duties. I wish you all the best in completing the mission. Proceed! That was fast. Initiating criticality protocol. The sudden tremor of the aircraft's hull made every passenger's heart skip a beat. The violent shaking catches you off guard, causing your head to bang against the hull of the aircraft. Ow! Normally, you would be able to stabilize yourself, however, your consciousness becomes shrouded in darkness before you're able to adjust your posture in time. During a memory playback, you will be completely pulled into a memory spiral. This overload of information will make you unable to control your body and perceive what's happening around you. Look at that, we're having a flashback about Asimov telling us about what it would feel like if we have a flashback. Fortunately, the playbacks dissipate as fast as they manifest. You may recount a certain duration of time subjectively, but only a few seconds may pass in real time. By the way, during this period, your subconscious will become hyperactive. There are 3 proxies for ascendance. 3 proxies, just saying you should know about it. I don't know what any of that means, but good to know. You may be overcome with perplexing ideas and make bewildering decisions. That's because your brain processes a lot of information internally, but your subjective thinking can't keep up with this processing speed. Right? Which means, this is a problem. This is considered a sickness. Shouldn't you be trying to treat me? Like, get me to a doctor? A therapist? I can't say for sure whether this will have a positive or negative impact. However, it's worth noting that the situation on the battlefield can change at a moment's notice. Since your memory playbacks are unpredictable and beyond your control, they may prove fatal in battle. Flashbacks telling about flashbacks. This is the flashback inception. To be on the safe side, I advise against participating in battles that require direct confrontation with the enemy for the time being. Well, too late for that. Just as you pull yourself out of a memory playback, the metal hull rapidly approaches. Oh, that's what you meant by proxy. Okay. I mean, yeah, we already know that there are transcendents, like Shoma and Miss Chu and also Kamu. So, even if we kind of have an idea of how Kamu was created, someone must have connected Miss Chu and Shoma to the Ascension network, right? So I guess there are 2 more people like Luna then. You struggle to avoid the collision, but you cannot even lift a finger. You can only succumb to the whim of your memories. Ayla! It's been quite some time, Great Raven Commandant. Surprised to see me, I take it? No, I'm not. I was actually expecting to see you for this EX, for Echo Aria. To be honest, it took quite some effort to reach you. If Chairman Allen hadn't lobbied for me, I don't think this would be possible. Ayla, what can I do for you? The task forces have all heard about the heroic deeds of the Grey Ravens at the Ascendant's base. I've even heard about them in Babylonia. It's important for later. Got it. Okay. I'll probably forget, but I'll try to keep that in mind. If you've been in direct contact with the Ascendants, have you seen the Ascendant who attacked me on the space station? I mean, we did, but we didn't exactly fight him, so... I actually still am not sure whether or not Gabriel is still alive, though. Never mind, he's not important. The only thing I care about is whether you found any sign of her in their base. Who do you mean by her? Who else could she mean by? No, Ayla, I'm sorry, I didn't see her. Just as the pink-haired girl is about to say a name, your memory stops and then cuts to black as if it had been tampered with. Oh, we only got this power and already someone's hacking into us. Someone's hacking into our brain. Severe pain fills your head and your thoughts stagnate for a moment. The other 2 aren't revealed in a long time. Okay. So I most likely will forget by the time I get to them. Commandant. Sorry, I was lost in thought. Liv, no need to get up. Liv, sit down. But Commandant, your head. Attention passengers. The aircraft is experiencing turbulence, attempting to stabilize altitude. Please stay seated so as to not change the aircraft's center of gravity. Thunderstorms rumble outside of the transport craft. Electric arcs flash among the clouds, shaking everyone with an even more violent tremor. experiencing excessive turbulence, attempting to disengage by expediting the descent sequence. Please do not panic. Please don't panic. No, in a situation like this, that won't. The turbulence continues to escalate. Lee, what's wrong? Do you know better than the AI piloting us, Lee? Because in that case, maybe you should pilot us instead. Due to the emergency maneuver, the aircraft has deviated from the original target. The aircraft is still experiencing turbulence. You'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, take your time. It's alright, no need to rush. Turbulence has deformed the port side wing due to excessive load bearing. Aerodynamics compromised. Initiating emergency landing procedure. The sharp crunch of the port side wing proves to be the final blow to the transport craft as half of the deformed wing plummets to the ground. The aircraft cannot return to a stable altitude for landing, estimating ground impact of approximately 15 degrees. At this angle, the aircraft is at risk of crash landing. Initiating parachute evacuation procedure. Depressurizing cabin. Opening tailgate in 15 seconds. Usually people say in situations like this you gotta aim for the water, but since the water in this case is punishing virus, maybe stay away from it. Maybe getting flattened is better. Rojak! You are here! Yeah, I'm a PNG tuber now. That's what the test was for. Remember, early on in the day, you caught me while I was testing the stream. I was testing this. Yeah, look at me, my little chibi. Tailgate open. All personnel, please parachute out immediately. By the way, Rojak, hope you had a good weekend. The initial impact against the hull nearly knocks you unconscious, and you struggle to move. Descending into a tailspin, the blood on your forehead blurs your vision. We're bleeding already? We haven't even started the fight! The seatbelt is now proving to be a death sentence, perhaps due to the impact. Repeated attempts to release the seatbelt are all in vain. Asimov was right. During a memory playback, you are but a lamb to the slaughter. In the dim haze of light, you catch a glimpse of construct teams evacuating the aircraft, one after another. Hurry up and prepare for evacuation. Right as you stand up, the cabin shakes violently again. I've secured a bit domain node. When will we parachute out? Figured as much. It looks nice, yeah. It does look nice. My best friend made it for me. And you can find my best friend on Reddit via the link in the description. I think the link should be there by now. Too late. The transport craft has stalled. It's too dangerous to parachute now. Brace for impact, Lucia. Help the Commandant. Help me, I'm just a squishy human. Got it. Right as you're about to crash into the metal hull again, someone shields your head and pulls you into their embrace. The embrace is cold and familiar. Lucia, we hug! I've got you, Commandant. Don't worry. I'll protect you. Close eyes. Okay, I sleep now. Sometime later... ... Maybe it was just a few seconds. Maybe it was quite some time. When all the dust settled, the forced landing was closer to a crash landing. You hear the sound of a laser cutting metal by your ears. Don't cut my ears, please. You open your eyes slightly to see Lee cutting away the hull. Lee, Liv, Lucia. Don't move, Commandant. In a rare tone of sternness, Liv stops you as you prepare to move. You feel more disgusted by the weakness of the flesh. Yeah, right. If only we could all be constructs. Or maybe we could just be immortal. I don't like this aging thing. I wanna unsubscribe, but I already paid for the lifetime subscription. No refunds. Lee kicks open the crumbling metal hull that had been cut. At that moment, light from the sky pours into the cabin. Hurry, Lucia, get the Commandant out. Lucia removes you from the transport craft. Looking around, you find the 3 constructs unfazed. Your wounded forehead is the only sign of damage. Lucia, set the Commandant down. I'll apply emergency aid. Alright. Having experience as a former medic, Liv quickly stems the bleeding and bandages your wounds. Former medic? Doesn't she still count as a medic now? Fortunately, it's just a flesh wound. It just looks more serious than what it actually is. Eyebrows furrowed, Lucia lets out a sigh of relief off to the side, then draws her weapon and looks around vigilantly. Okay, I almost sneezed there. Oof, I didn't sneeze. Now it's not the time to let our guard down. Watch your surroundings. Surrounded by barren wasteland, the crash site must be far off the beaten path leading to the original destination. If it's just an ordinary wasteland, it would not have mattered. More importantly, however, was where the crew had crash landed. What's that? To everyone's surprise, the crash site is not just some remote location. Rather, it's amidst the tributaries of the red tide. Just super glue and slap the flex tape. Yeah, that's one way to stop the bleeding, I guess. Hey, whatever it takes to keep the blood inside. More aptly put, they are at the bar to the tributaries. The tributaries got alcohol. Though they're not inundated by the red tide, they are by no means out of harm's way. Sand billowing in the wind impairs visibility, making movement in any direction nigh impossible. Oh? Derek, is that you? What's that sound? The sound is rich and melodious, like the call of a large mammal. Derek? Is that you? How's the chapter so far? Echo Aria is known being rough among a lot of people. I mean, I only got to the second note. Do you mean rough as in the story-wise? Or rough as in the parts where I have to fight? Because if it's the parts where I have to fight, then... You know, that may mean that I'm gonna have to retry a few times then. As the sound becomes louder and louder, a rustling approaches from the depths of the sandstorm. In a flash, the three Grey Ravens stand in front to protect you. Oh, is it Selena? You know, that supposedly melodious voice? What is it? The dust storm is too heavy. I can't see where we're going. What? Dark flow. Ah. Okay, let me hydrate for a bit. We received a comms request from an unknown signal. It's identified as a Babylonian construct. Okay, so it is Selena, probably. Put it through, Lee. Grey Raven? And you are? Oh, it's Wanchi! I forgot that he's here. Wanchi of Strikehawk. I've been scouting this area. You are at the heart of the red tide. You must leave immediately. I left a beacon in the area nearby. Move towards this direction. And I know 14 hours more. Story-wise, is unnecessarily really long in places at times. Okay, well, I guess we got what, a 5-part stream to look forward to. And I guess it means that I won't be able to finish this before HSR 4.2 drops. Tap the button to sense the beacon's location. Left control Q. Okay. Beacon? Beacon, is that you? Why are there human clothes? It's too wide open here. People can easily lose their sense of distance. They probably thought they could cross the desert. Wait a second, there's something in the jacket. It's a piece of paper? Wanchi, one shot, one kill. What's on it? The remaining food and serum can't last us through this winter. We must move. We need to find enough food so Ray and the others can. It looks like a torn diary. I can see the date at the bottom. There's only this page left. The edge of this paper looks like it's been burned. The temperature difference between morning and night can be huge in this environment. Yeah, people say that. I haven't really experienced it myself because I don't live in a desert. But apparently, in a desert, the temperature differences are very, very extreme. So it could be seriously hot in the daytime, and then once nighttime comes, it could be like shiveringly cold. So I've never experienced that myself. It's just very interesting to me. If they had to burn their diary to keep themselves warm, they probably are already... Let's keep moving. Oh yeah, there's no, what's the word? There's no, what's the word for it again? No arrow on the ground. Because usually there is an arrow. Ooh, I like how the scenery changed when we did that. There's usually an arrow telling us where to go, right? This time I guess I just gotta press left control Q. Am I going the right direction? Corruption level rapidly rising. Watch out, heteroid creatures.
Is that the best you can do? She'll be my blade!
Hidden is very nice though for what you remember. Okay. The button next to 21. It won't let me press it though. It won't let me take out my mouse. So I gotta left control Q. What exactly are you doing? Still have no idea where to go. I'm trying. Fine, follow my instructions from now on. Thank you! Yay, finally we get the little arrow. Yeah, the background turns dark when Alpha does that. That's very cool. Ah! Hello. Let's keep moving. The beacon isn't far away. Here? Lee, you gotta take out your dialogue box. We should be safe here, right? I can't see the arrow with the dialogue box in the way. I'll press Y. I keep forgetting that. Thank you, Corey. I have a feeling you're gonna have to remind me quite a few times in the future. Despite the dense layer of clouds overhead blotting out the sun, the Earth's surface is still scorching hot. The sand carried in the scorching winds stinging your face. Since that's possibly not Derek, then is that sound just Selena? Congratulations, you earned easy mode. Thank you, Wanchi, for giving me easy mode. I have a feeling he could have done that a lot sooner, but thanks for giving it to me eventually. There it is again! The sound echoes through the air. The red tide, which was flowing quietly, begins to fill the riverbed once more. Although the sound seems distant, it still seems to resonate from every direction. Liv, inject the Commandant with a serum. Garlic serum. The red tide is beginning to rise again. Punishing concentration is rising at an unprecedented rate. That was the last one. Most of the serum was smashed in the landing. Oh. The bit domain node's support frame and even the comms device for contacting the main force were all damaged. Oh. Can we still use the bit domain thing though? How long can we hold out? Less than 2 hours? Holding the broken bit node, Liv shows a look of guilt. Sorry, Commandant, I couldn't keep it safe. We were in a plane crash, Liv. If anything, it was definitely not your fault. This all happened. Yeah, it's not your fault. The Commandant's right. We couldn't have anticipated that. The team falls silent. Can we really trust the construct that claims to be a part of Strike Hawk? Oh. I mean, yeah, we're basically friends with Strike Hawk at this point, right? Even if we've never met Wanchi, you would think that Chrome and Kamui would have mentioned Wanchi before. There's gotta be some way for us to confirm whether or not it's actually Wanchi. The garlic was smashed! Words chapter. If he's one of Chrome's comrades, right at that moment a hetero creature appears out of nowhere and ambushes the team. Commandant! Right before the hetero creature is about to stab you with a sharp spike, a bullet pierces the air and penetrates the creature. Still in shock, you cannot help but look in the direction of the shot's trajectory. A white figure looms in the yellow sandstorm. Just a reminder, your comms have been on this whole time. While we've been debating whether or not to trust him, he's like, I can hear you, you know. Doesn't matter, Lee, we trust the garlic bread. I heard everything he said. Just now. That was me. His languid voice suddenly becomes serious. Quit looking around and get over here. We were gossiping about you behind your back. We're sorry. After quite some time, the four of you finally catch up to the white figure. Before you stands a young man with delicate silver hair and thick dark circles under his eyes. Oh my god, you and Asimovo both have dark circles under your eyes. You should get together and try to turn those bags designer bags under the eyes. Wanchi, correct? Thank you for thank me when we get out of this place. Come with me. Half-hearted and meaningless greetings are skipped over before they even begin. What's going on here? You first. We ran into turbulence. Both sides are concise with in their exchange. Lee is not wanting to mince words. Wanchi is too lazy to waste words. Fair enough. Neither of them are yappers. Wanchi glances upward. I figured. Otherwise, that landing was a bit, it wasn't our fault, that's for sure. His face turns blank. If it was yesterday, landing here wouldn't have been such an issue. Unfortunately, you're a day late. I mean, the red tide grew in just 24 hours. We grew up so fast. Hold on, let me drink. Oh my god. Wait, what did it say before? She's troubled eyes widens as he retains his apathetic tone, then responds seriously. The red tide hasn't reached this place until today. You'd better see it for yourself rather than me simply telling you. Let me start over. I'm Wanchi from Strikecock of the task force. Chrome is my captain. I'm sure you've met. You've also met Kamui and Kamu. Since the last battle, Strikecock has been investigating what's left of the red tide and searching for the location of Washu in City 075. After hearing about the victory against the polyphage, we stayed on the surface to continue monitoring the red tide. I was ordered by our captain to investigate the city's periphery. I was also the first person to inform Babylonia on the red tide's activity. Dark circles. The mark of god-level slaves or god-level doom-scroller. In this case, I think it's supposed to be the mark of science guys, you know? Because Asimovo is the chief technician and Wanshi, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be a doctor. So it's just, you know, science getting in the way of proper rest. Since Babylonia dispatched you here, I'll spare the details. I know who you are. Grey Raven, correct? Our captain mentioned you. Especially you, Commandant. Wanshi's seriousness was only momentary. Shortly after, he returns to his usual lazy self. But, looks like his description wasn't exactly, What do you mean? What did Chrome say about me? Tell me! His narrow pair of golden eyes glance at you faintly. He cuts himself off halfway with a long yawn. What was that sound earlier? Oh, that? It always lasts anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. That does not answer the question. That long? Yeah, human ears can hear part of it. The frequency is between 10 and 40 hertz. It is a whale. That's the usual hertz for whales, right? But you can probably only hear it at above 20 hertz. Whenever the sound starts, the red tide begins to spread. What on earth? Sounds like a whale song. It's Derek! It is Derek! A whale song. Interesting analogy. Human ears can only hear above 20 hertz. Whereas the vocalization of a blue whale is typically between 10 and 40 hertz. Hey, I was right! It is a whale song, whale thing. Humans refer to this as a whale song. But this isn't the ocean, this is a desert. How can there be the sound of whales? How can there be a red river in the desert? I mean, at this point, anything is possible, right? We're in the apocalypse. We should be expecting the unexpected by now. Not to mention that the life-devouring red tide rises whenever it appears. But... if it's a death knell, then it's far too serene. Death knell? It's far too Selena, you mean? I'll see myself out now. Okay, let me drink some more. I think my throat is getting a bit too dry. If I capture a whale and make them swipe the card until they cry, can I hear the whale song? Whales don't cry, they just keep swiping their card. They don't worry about money. Okay. You walk with Wanshi for what feels like ages. With drinking water exhausted and your legs equally so, you never knew hiking could be so difficult. Hiking is really, really, really hard. Ugh, I hate it. Like, no offense, Spirit, but I think you're a freak for enjoying and for actually going on walks every night like that. It's just so exhausting for me. I don't like it. I prefer different forms of exercise. The desert is not a place for talking, with sand assaulting your every orifice. Ew. Opening your mouth is just an invitation for a mouthful of sand. Not only for humans. Sorry, I'm sucking on something minty to help with my throat. Not only for humans, the yellow sand also causes great trouble for the mechanical joints of constructs. Oh! Okay, I mean, makes sense. But then, someone like Watanabe is always in the desert, right? The Forsaken are basically based in a desert, so are his joints okay? Or is it because like his frame is an older frame Maybe they're better suited for staying on Earth in different terrains. After we cross this section of land, let's repair our frames. Sand is clogging up our joints. Commandant, your complexion. No, Lucia, don't tell me what my face looks like now. I'm sure I look hideous. Wanchi throws a tarp over you. Thanks. Don't you? I mean, I don't think they need it. I don't think the tarp can keep the sand out of their joints. Wanchi just looks away and yawns, showing no signs of responding. Uncle is old and joint issues are perfectly normal. Okay. Yeah, you know what? You can't argue with that. Silence returns and the party continues onward. The farther you walk, the rock formations continue to lessen along with the density of the tributary. However, the oppressive sense of urgency still remains. If it's from the red tide before, it's now from surviving in such hostile conditions. He cleans it on an hourly basis. He's used to it. Yeah, I mean, he probably should be used to it by now, huh? He's been in the desert for like years at this point. Also, Nanami also just moves around everywhere on Earth, never staying in one place. She's probably also used to maintaining her joints. From behind, you hear the whale song again. You're no longer in the area inundated by the red tide, and the sound takes on a more ethereal tone. Ethereal? Where? Your eyesight once again begins to fragment. Flashback. Let me tell you something about her while there's still time. Thank you for all of the relevant flashbacks so far. None of the flashbacks that we've gotten have been irrelevant to the plot, and I appreciate it. We've been close friends since before we became constructs. She may be a starry-eyed idealist, but she's also the most pragmatic person I've ever met. When she acts mature, she's decisive to an extreme. When she acts naive, she's romantic to a fault. Sounds contradictory. But also sounds like me, kinda. Elena's like me, for real, for real. Went from unusual maintenance into an addiction. Yeah, Unc just got so used to the feeling of his joints working well that he has to do it every hour from now on, because otherwise it just don't feel right. For example, Ayla turns and glances out the window at the blue planet. What do you think of that blue planet? Earth? Yeah. Suddenly, your mind is filled with official data. The equatorial radius is 6,378.137 kilometers. It rotates from west to east and revolves around the sun. It's the third innermost planet of the solar system. I don't think that's what she meant, Commandant. It goes without saying that the feeling of gravity upon entering the atmosphere is always a memorable part of each mission. Explain your thoughts to Ayla. Ayla doesn't need a science lesson. Is that all? Task Force Commandants often get deployed to the surface. I don't think most residents born in Babylonia will ever know what true gravity feels like. Oh. Yeah, I guess, right. If anyone who's born in Babylonia, then most likely they've never really been on Earth unless they joined the military, like Chrome did. Because I think Chrome was also born on Babylonia, and then he joined the military, so... Huh. Yeah, weird to think that most of the humans on Babylonia won't know what proper gravity feels like. The task force, some members of the archaeological team haven't even been to the surface. Not sure about ethereals, but this weather sure is miasma-inducing, leaving a hollow in your lungs. I see, all the references there, Rojak. Good. You deserve a kudos from me. Anyway, what's it like to be on the surface? What's it like on the surface? Close your eyes. Ayla's face begins to contort. Flashback within a flashback? No. Why am I thinking about speaking with Ayla before departure at a time like this? It's plot relevant! Pay attention, Commandant. We're about to meet her best friend, the one that she mentioned in the flashback. What's it like on the surface? What's it like on the surface? Stop walking. Cover head. Cover head. What's up? You remain quiet. Having left the sandstorm, the whale song accompanying you like a shadow gradually fades into the distance. You can't help but turn to look back. Amid the dense sand, you seem to spot the faint figure of a woman. Selena! Cooked. The surface is cooked. Yeah, it looks like it's been overcooked, actually, with all of that black soot and coal and stuff. This is why we should only let Gabriel do the cooking. At least he's an actual chef. Is that a shadow from the red tide? Oh yeah, I forgot. The red tide can do that. Her question remains unanswered as it vanishes in the blink of an eye. I'm fine. Okay, let's keep moving. After another long trek, suddenly, once she stops at the front, he squints and looks ahead. Yo, Lord Branya, hello! Oh my god, it's been a while! Welcome back! Lord Branya, look, look, look! I'm a PNG tuber now. Look at my little chibi. Look, it's me! I hope you've been well, Lord Branya. Take care of yourself, okay? Thank you for dropping by. That's a kid at 2 o'clock, 200 meters. What's someone doing in a place like this? No, it's the red tide playing tricks on you guys. Don't fall for it. An enemy? This is best left for you to decide, Commandant. You're the Grey Raven Commandant. Only you have the authority to assess our course of action. You're just shifting the blame. Of course not. I'm just an observer. Besides, you trust your Commandant's judgment more than I do, don't you? Following that, he closes his eyes and stops talking as he quietly awaits for the others to make a decision. New avatar? Yeah. I just got it last night from my best friend. I commissioned it from them. I look cute, don't I? Look at it. I like it. It's me. It's a little me. Look towards 2 o'clock. Only an expanse of bare hills and steep cliffs outstretched just before your eyes. There's no sign of anyone. His eyelids lift up and scan ahead once more. Whoever was there is gone. Probably realized I'd taken notice. Clever. That person is avoiding humans. And we aren't looking for a corrupted. Commandant, that was a human. Is that a child? Redwater, you shall not whisper sweet nothings to us. Only Luna is allowed to do that. Even then, I think the sweet nothings she would whisper to us would be more like threats, you know? Like, I swear to God, if you ever hurt my sister, I ever hear that you did things to Lucia that she doesn't like, I will kill you and the rest of the world with you. Or something like that, you know? What's a child doing in such a hostile place like this? Thoughts, Lee? As a precaution, I suggest investigating the surrounding area. Something's not adding up here. Let's go have a closer look. Alright, let's get closer to the mysterious, possibly haunted child. Wanshi refers to a small hill on a relatively high terrain. Only upon standing atop the hill do you suddenly get a bigger picture of the surrounding area. You clearly see the desolate desert, a cruel land of death. However, right at this moment, your heart begins to tremble. What's it like on the surface? Stop asking us that, Ayla. That's like the 4th time. If the red water can give me an S-rank Cheddar Babe with my Yui specs, I'm afraid I might switch sides. You're telling me what a good time it's like. Oh my god, I didn't mean to threaten you with a good time. Vast, primitive, and silent, as if it had remained like this since man first walked upright, and would continue until the last man is finally laid to rest. The sun hangs high above the distant clouds. Although clouds cover the surface, the residual brilliance still blazes in proclamation of its existence. Obviously, there's only one light source. When seen from Babylonia, it's merely just an incandescent ball of light. Yet, how can it illuminate such a vast land? Commandant, I'm detecting more than one thermal reading. Wait, that's... A gust of wind carries the sound of fighting. Look towards the source of the sound. Is it the other Babylonian squads? Your first instinct upon reaching the top of the hill is to peer into the distance. However, you miss the makeshift camp just below. A cool gust of wind blows through the makeshift tents and log houses with an eerie scraping noise. So it's not the other Babylonia teams? It's just people who live here? No, they don't live here anymore. It's empty. The camp is empty, though not because it had been vacated by its occupants, rather because they've gathered outside the camp. Oh, standing on the opposite side of them is no one else but that unyielding pine. Hans? It's Hans and Team 01. And also... In front of the camp, two distinct groups of people are facing each other. To one side, a ragged and close-knit group resembling refugees who've long since lived here. To the other side, a fully armed squadron of elite soldiers sent from Babylonia. Well, that doesn't sound like a fair fight now, does it? The sudden appearance of the latter obviously frightened the former. Now, at the breaking point, fear and vigilance have given way to unclad hostility. Who are you? Oh, it's the same character design. Women protect their children like hens to their chicks. The rest of the refugees band together, seemingly ready to take the armed squadron down with them should the soldiers take a step forward. The soldiers on the calibration team grip their weapons tightly. Chief Commander, this camp and its people are near the preset coordinates. They'll be caught in the blast. Should we force them to evacuate? I mean, yeah, even without the blast stuff, the red tide is like literally right there. It's literally a stone's throw away. Maybe we should be getting these guys out of here, you know? Just to be on the safe side. Hans is your boy? Yeah, a lot of you seem to like Hans. I still don't see it, but I can respect it. Hans turns his head slightly to the side. Do not fire unless fired upon. They don't pose any threat. Okay, at least he's not trigger happy. That's good. His gaze shifts back to the refugees. Do not attempt to attack or resist. I don't want any senseless struggle. Run over? I don't know, it looks like Hans has got this covered. Do we gotta go? The arrival of the Grey Ravens only adds fuel to the fire. A feeble boy pokes his head out from behind the woman who'd just spoken and looks at the calibration team with frightened eyes. Standing before the team of heavily armored soldiers, the refugees refrain from acting rashly for the time being. Oh, it's the kid. Oh, so it wasn't a ghost. Good to know. Hans turns his head. Grey Ravens, you're here. Chief Commander Hans. We lost contact with Team 06 for quite some time. I thought you hightailed it back to Babylonia. How? The plane crashed. How could we have done that? Hi, Spirit. Welcome back. Regardless, we've deployed redundancy teams. Your absence would have likely gone unnoticed. Okay. Do you want us to leave? The veteran commander did little to mask his condescending tone. Our aircraft was hit with turbulence. We had no other choice but to make a crash landing. Yeah, it's not our fault. Hans dismisses it. Tension hangs in the air. Sorry, mind if I interrupt? Despite the inquiry, Wanchi continues to talk without waiting for Hans to respond. I am the construct in charge of reporting on the surface to Babylonia, Wanchi of Strikon. Wanna become that butterfly? You done with stuff? What butterfly? Is this a reference to something? To some Gen Z thing that I don't know of? You. The president informed me that you were the first to report on the proliferation of the Red Tide's tributaries. Bingo! Let's cut to the chase instead of getting wrapped up in who's right and who's wrong. Holding them at gunpoint will only make matters worse, won't it? Wanchi glances at the refugees. Lower your weapons, soldiers. At least they didn't, open fire immediately. Is the only choice to... Oh, chapter 31. Okay, well, that's still a long way to go for me. Hold on. Let me drink. Lips are sealed. Garlic butter? Where'd the garlic butter come from? I hope that means that you're enjoying some garlic bread, Grojak. Hans's orders relieve the tension with the refugees. An old man comes out from behind the wall of people. Garlic? Just saying the word garlic summons all of you. Who the hell are you? We're from Babylonia. As if from the flick of a switch, the villagers' expressions changed in an instant. Whispers filled the crowd. I hope those are good whispers. Babylonia? You mean the space station of legends? I guess Grandpa wasn't making it up? However, the elderly seemed to look more conflicted. Seems we're in the presence of dignitaries. We're nothing of the sort. We're just troops on a mission. Babylonia will bombard this area with the Longinus arsenal soon. Please leave at once. The Buster Call is coming. Evacuate now. Longinus arsenal? What's that? Your garlic break bread eating days are over. Hand me the garlic butter. Before Liv can respond, the old man lowers his head and lets out a smile at odds with the severity of the confrontation. Put simply, it's a giant bright light that destroys everything it shines light on. The child can't understand the implication of what the old man had just said. Instead, he only nods ignorantly. I think he would have understood it more if you just said it's a giant laser in the sky. You know what we're talking about? The old man raises his head once more, revealing the same cheerless expression as before. Garlic bread is the peak of food. Thus the council of garlic bread enjoyers gets summoned. If you want it, you have to take it, but you already knew that. You gotta take it from his cold, dead hand, spirit. The garlic bread court. Not only about the Longinus arsenal, but also about the 0-point reactor, the hyperdrive, the great evacuation, and all the history that's about to be forgotten by our children. He sighs deeply. I already understand why it is you're here. Do as you will. I just hope you don't make too much of a commotion. The children need their rest. The reason the world of PTR is cooked because there's no garlic bread there. Exactly. We've been saying this the whole time. You just need garlic bread. Then the apocalypse will be over. Had a feeling you'd say that. Motivated Alpha. See? Just saying the word garlic brings all of you to the chat. With that, he returns to the refugees behind him and whispers among the group. After a while, the refugees disperse and return to their homes. A few moments later, only the calibration team is left in the center of the camp. You know, when we said you guys needed to evacuate, I don't think you understood what the word means. Evacuating means leave, not go back home. What was that? Million slashes happen. Dang. You guys are even fighting in the chat now, having epic anime showdowns. Off to the side, Lucia takes a few steps forward and catches up to the old man, preparing to return to his residence. What did you say to them? You know what the weapon is capable of, so you must know that this isn't the time to sit here and await destruction. Are these people even real? Could these just be, you know, the illusions by the Red Tide? Because we already know that they can make illusions. If you don't leave, you'll all die. I told them exactly that. Huh? Take it easy, Lucia. Maybe we just weren't clear. Briefly put, this area will be overrun with punishing creatures soon, so Babylonia wants to eliminate them all in one fell sweep. One of the designated coordinates is near this camp. If you continue to stay here, you'll be caught in the shockwave. You just go take garlic bread. Damn. Even if Babylonia doesn't call down the strike, then those monsters will attack you. You don't need to explain any further. As I've said, I know that you're elite forces from Babylonia. As the pride and hope of mankind, after so many years, you return to Earth, only to bring us news of destruction. Hey now, we've been going to and from Earth for a while, actually. So, you know, it's not like we abandoned you or anything. Kind of. Well, technically. Illusions by the Red Tide look very red. I mean, this Red Tide supposedly has been diluted, so maybe that's why there's a lot less red? We know that you came here to destroy that Red Tide of monsters approaching from the west. We know what it is. Many of our comrades have fallen victim to it. People die when they're killed. Don't you quote Shiro Amiya to me. When you mentioned the Longinus arsenal, I already knew what repercussions we were going to face. That's what I told them. Hey. Now someone's quoting Bokuto. Your tactics have always been simple and crude. It was before and it still is. I'm not surprised. We will not obstruct your mission or interfere with the coordinates you set. Once you finish your mission, you're free to go. You'll die. Lee, I think that's the point. For them. You already said that multiple times. Red Tide needs to learn some basic coloring principles. Yeah, the Red Tide needs to go back to kindergarten, where everyone learned how to color. If we die, so what? Look around you. This place is home to only a few hundred people scattered throughout. We've been through the great evacuation. When faced with impending doom, some people boarded Eden, while others just barely missed the boat. The former life of ease aboard Eden, while the other lives in the former lives in a life of ease aboard Eden, while the other is left to eke out a life among the remnants of civilization. I think that's how you say this, eke. Okay? Just look at the old veteran behind you. He no longer concerns himself with the likes of us after receiving his golden ticket onto that Doomsday arc. You talking about Hans? Really? Also, people have injury when they're hurt. Ever since the Great Evacuation, we've been living among annihilation. We've grown accustomed to it. Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to always be accustomed to it. You can just leave now, you know? Just walk away. If that's all, let these old bones go home to get some rest. I'd at least like to keep my last ounce of dignity up until the end. After he finishes speaking, he turns and walks away out of sight. This old man is cool. Yeah, you know what? I can respect an old person who knows what he wants. And what he wants right now is to die, apparently. A deathly silence spreads among the team. This was an unexpected turn of events. I'll report this to Babylonia. Wait for my word. What about our mission to configure the nodes? Proceed as normal. Proceed! Please wait, Chief Commander Hans. There are still people here. Obeying orders is the first requirement of a soldier. Grey Raven Commandant, keep your constructs under control. Bold of you to assume I have any control over these elves. Over Lee, Liv, and Lucia. This has nothing to do with Commandant. Now that you understand why are you standing here, proceed to your designated location to deploy the bit domain node on the double. About that, our node was damaged in the crash. Your uselessness is truly amazing. Hey, don't you talk to my Liv like that. How dare you? In that case, take your supplies and find a place to stay put. Don't get in my way. Why didn't you give them further warning during the mission briefing? The scouts relayed back more intel than just that. Hasen? You keeping things from us? Fork found in kitchen? Because I already relayed it to Hans. That'll suffice. In some regards, you're even more ruthless than me. Yeah, I'm starting to believe that, Nicola. Huh. So you know what our subordinates think of us too, eh? That you're mother and father of Babylonia. Of course I'm not deaf, and I'm certainly not a fool. If it was really just a calibrating mission, then the Grey Raven Commandant would have been enough to serve as the Chief Commander. Yeah, see, I was right. Why wasn't I put in charge? They've encountered the Red Tide before, and their experience in active combat far exceeds that of others. Yet you chose Hans. No one talks about my wife's sister like that. How dare they? Since the last battle in City 075, the Grey Raven Commandant's condition has become unstable. Asimov still isn't sure whether it has any permanent impact on the Commandant, either mentally or physically. No, I'm pretty sure Asimov is sure about the mental impact at this point. We get random plot-relevant flashbacks. That's basically it. Moreover, the objective of this operation isn't combative. Rather, it requires cooperation to achieve a strategic goal. Since the Grey Ravens are used to fighting in isolation, the Commandant may not be the most suitable choice as Chief Commander. I mean, what do you mean, fighting in isolation? I've been working together with Strikehawks for quite a bit at this point, and also Bianca and Karen and the other people from the other factions. I could so be in charge. I'd be okay with being in charge. The suitability of the Grey Ravens isn't the reason why you selected Hans. Hasen pauses a moment, then continues to speak. Some decisions and responsibilities cannot be left to the younger generation. Is he gonna make Hans... Is Hans part of a plan where it involves sacrificing himself? I was joking, you know, about Hasen sending Hans out on this mission so that he can die and get rid of him. But I'm starting to really believe that now. What do you mean? Even if there's only the slightest of risk, I trust Hans's judgment. He is our most prominent leader. He has enough experience to deal with any unforeseen issues that should arise. Yeah, Hans is definitely dying. We can't have someone more competent than the main character in this story. That just won't do. You're too kind and gentle to the younger generation. PGR Alien collab? Oh, PGR Isolation. Proceed to end Hans since he objected your wife. What's it like on the surface? What's it like on the surface? What's it like on the surface? Truly nice power, Commandant. Yeah, we keep getting the same flashback of Ayla over and over and over again. We don't even get any new information. We keep sheltering them, it'll only backfire. Nicola, you and I have too much weight on our shoulders and too much blood on our hands. Friend and foe alike. We are remnants of the past. One day, history will use the guillotine to judge those disgraceful sins. You would hope, right? You would hope. At least spare the children from having to bear the responsibilities and sins of their forefathers. Imagine Babylonia gets invaded, but then again, we'd get no playable character from it. Babylonia hasn't gotten invaded, but it has gotten hacked by Huashu at this point, so, you know, more or less the same. Our generation will be the one to sever the chains of hatred. In that case, why let them go down together? First and foremost, to observe whether the Commandant is still suitable for serving as Grey Raven's Commandant. Secondly, sparing them from our responsibility doesn't mean asking them to turn a blind eye forever. One must face his own weaknesses to embrace the future. If only my mom could hear this. If only my mom could talk to Hasen. I feel like she really, really needs to hear this. Just saying. Dead space, it is them. Make us whole again. Alright, let me drink for a bit. Give me a sec. Hydrate. Only 15%, and now we're at node 4. So I'm guessing we're... Yeah, this really is a long story then. That's not even including the hidden. Gotta go. Okay, Kashiki, bye. See you. Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. Embrace your gambling addiction. No! No, spirit. Bad spirit. Put the card back into your pocket. To go have a future. Don't do it, spirit! Abyss of gravity. Time is fleeting like sand through an hourglass. The sun hangs on the western horizon, shedding light across the lower half of the sky and turning to night upon reaching this far. Just wait for later chapters. The dry air and radiational cooling have caused the surrounding temperature to drop rapidly. Scorching heat turns to frigid cold in an instant. Hold on. I think I hear the kitten. Just a second. Just let me check on it. Yeah, the little guy's awake. You don't want to sleep, huh? Your natural nocturnal cat instincts aren't letting you sleep? Since this isn't a node where I have to fight, I'm gonna just hold it in one hand. Stream end time almost? Why not watch the Kamui PV and the HSR thingy? Oh, actually, yeah, I think I want to stream a little longer, but since you guys are already starting to leave, maybe I should just watch that first for now. Hold on. Let me go back. Because I can, yeah, I can go back to this, right? EX04 again later. So, let me just mute this. Let me open up YouTube. The little guy is just wriggling. I don't know if the mic is catching it, but he's just talking a little bit. Meow. He loves PGR too much to sleep. I think it's because like I've been streaming quite loudly. That's why. Poor guy. I'm still not sure what the gender is, but I think it's a male. Weh. Okay, hold on. Ta-da! Okay, let's see. PGR. Kamui? Background animation. Okay, which one is it? Dying Sun or this one? Which one did you guys... Butter Dog? Collab? No, I wanted a different kind of collab. Or is it this one that you guys want me to see? Okay, which one is the one without spoilers? Kamui wants it, Kamui gets it? Dang. Since this is pretty short, maybe this one has least spoilers. And is that baby Kamui? The baby, or maybe Kamu? You know, since Kamu is the original PV. Coding PV? Okay, probably both then? Let's start with... But this is also the PV. No. Don't fall. Oh my god, why are you climbing? Where are you going? Where do you want to go? Wee. Okay, I think maybe we'll start from this one then.
Day 4 since leaving
Let me see if you
Babylonia.
guys can hear.
Frame
Okay, you should be
overloaded.
able to hear.
Constantly
Hey,
raising
English
mind.
coming. Animation PBS, no spoilers. Okay.
I thought this desert would be the end of me.
Where are you
But
going,
I found
Tommy?
it.
Why are
The
Why are
source of that
Babylonia
signal.
sending everyone to missions in the desert?
Descent.
Task debriefing does not require such dramatic reenactment of your experiences. And please get off the table.
What is he doing? Oh, is that supposed to be Asima?
All right, Kamui, get to the point. How did you find the communicator?
Oh, British Chrome again.
Captain, you have no idea. That whole experience
Is
still
Kamui...
sends chills down my
shirtless?
sensors when I think back.
Is his frame...
It was
Does his
pitch
frame
black
not
all
have
around.
clothes on?
The stench of death filled the air. And suddenly, something popped
He doesn't
out of
even have
nowhere.
pants on.
So I
Okay, his
immediately
frame is
activated my
naked.
energy core.
Good to know.
And that's when I saw a massive, no gargantuan corrupted
Do they not have recordings?
dead silence.
Can
But I knew
Asimov not just check the recordings?
was war.
Can your dumbass stop messing with the Switch? I'll see your device isn't even that bright.
Your device isn't even that bright. Kamui actually got off his seat to scold Kamui.
Kamui, continue your
And once he's
debrief.
asleep, okay. You forgot how Kamui's like...
It was driven back
That
by my
cool
heroic
image
aura
crumbled.
and fled in a panic. I stayed hot on its trail, following it to the end of the corridor. There, I found the communicator, but then a worse enemy appeared. And I knew it was war.
This is war. Whoa. What's with the hair flip? What's with the JoJo pose, Kamui? Who needs clothes when you have metal sleeve muscles? Yeah, I feel like any clothes would just be less cool than the frame. His hair seems more strawberry blonde in this instead of the yellow blonde of his
That thing in your hand.
2D
It's just an ordinary serum.
character design.
Did I leave it in the warehouse? I swear it was an accident. Please don't
Oh,
be
he's just
dead.
walking?
I'll go fetch it right away.
He didn't take the right
The
thing.
warehouse is closed already. We'll need to come back tomorrow.
He just chopped him on the head.
Relax, Captain. I've got it right here.
Oh, he
I
just
made sure to
playing.
cover everything. It's all done. Now I've got the rest of the day to spend with you guys.
He was just playing. Ah. Wait. Ah, that was nice. That was cute. Kamui, I'm glad he didn't change. I'm glad his personality is pretty much the same. Okay. I think that's the only thing I can watch without spoilers, maybe. Except, I don't think this has spoilers. I don't think this has spoilers either. Yeah, but I'll leave the rest for once I actually catch up with the story. There's a lot that I need to catch up with. Oh my god. I started playing the game right around the time Teddy was released. It's been a while since then. 3 months ago, dang. Okay, well, our smug son. Ah, that was cute. There's so much I need to catch up on. Holy shit. I actually don't recognize any of this. Wait, from which point do I recognize? Are you hungry already? I fed you like an hour ago. Anyway, anyway, anyway. Yep, I don't recognize any of this. There's so much for me to catch up on, dang. Okay then, well, this you know what? Since the baby is demanding attention right now, maybe we should end the stream here then. Let me go. It's been a nice journey so far. Yeah, it's been nice so far, but there's still so much of the journey left for me to take. Okay, I need to go feed the baby. So I think this is my cue to end the stream then. Poor little guy. I just gotta remind myself when I continue this. I think I need to restart the 4th node. And I think HSR's 4.2 starts the day after tomorrow. So tomorrow we can still do more of Echo Aria. Alright, Rojak, Corey, Spirit, and Styx, and Motivated Alpha, if you're still there. Lord Bronya, as well, if you're still there. Kanoya, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. Kashiki, also, thank you so much for coming. And Wesley, thank you. Alright, I guess we'll just leave it here for now. I gotta go give the baby some food. And see you, Corey. Thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you, everyone. Wanna say something to the mic? Yeah, he's really hungry now. Alright, I'll go feed it now. Alright, take care, everyone. Take care of my children and grandchildren. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good night. Have a good day. Bye-bye. See you. Thank you so much. Bye. See you. Bye. I really gotta remember to stream more quietly. Especially with the kitten. Okay, bye. See you. Bye-bye.